Every once in a while, football gives us a glimpse into the future. Wonder kids with the world at their feet, showing flashes of brilliance, rising right in front of our eyes. Some crumble under the pressure. Others write their names into football history. But even the greatest take years to become who they're meant to be. But right now, there's a kid who's not waiting. He's not just knocking on football's door, he's kicking it wide open. And he might just change the game forever. Lamine Yamal. Are we witnessing the birth of football's next icon, or falling for another wonderkid myth?
Se la llevó Lamine Yamal, encara sobre Mkhitaryan, se le va bien, se mete en el área, va a buscar el disparo.
What in the Neymar did I just witness? Not too long ago, if you told someone there would be a kid schooling grown defenders in a Champions League semi-final at 17, no one would believe you. Lamine Yamal is really good. We saw glimpses of that in his debut season under Xavi, but no one, not even generational talents like Lamine, are supposed to be this good this early. Because even compared to the greatest players of all time, Yamal is on an early trajectory we have never seen. Before turning 18, more goals than the all-time leading scorer, more assists than the all-time leading assister, and more trophies than the record holder. This isn't normal, this is historic. And even when you compare Lamine's impact in his second full season to some of the biggest wonderkids in recent memory, guys who are now in their prime, the gap he has on everyone is unbelievable. Let's look at some of the biggest wonderkids we've had in recent football memory and their career progression in their first 2 full seasons according to SofaScore average rating. Now, a 6.5 is about team average, so even players who got off to a relatively slow start like Haaland, Vinicius, and Musiala were still on a positive trajectory early in their careers. Now, an average rating of 7 translates into being one of the most important and consistent players on the team. So players like Kylian Mbappe and Dembele were already stars in just their second season in professional football. And then there's Lamine, who isn't just a star but a Ballon d'Or candidate in just his second full season. Some of the guys in this list eventually turned out to be world-class players, and Lamine is outpacing them all by a long shot, already producing at a level that most players don't reach until they are 25 or 26 years old. Right now, Lamine isn't just competing for the title of the best wonderkid in Europe, he's quickly approaching the best players in the world. Multiple sources have listed Yamal as a top 3 candidate for this year's Ballon d'Or. Usually he's mentioned alongside players like Dembele or Rafinha for the top spot. Now, does he deserve to win it? Well, that depends on who you ask. Personally, I think his teammate Rafinha deserves it for an incredible season filled with many clutch moments. But Lamine, he's 17, time is on his side, and if he stays healthy, he could win multiple individual awards in the future. If. See, there's a reason why young players rarely get this kind of space, this kind of spotlight in a top team. Sure, sometimes it's about not being ready on the pitch, but more often than not, it's everything off the pitch. And for Lamine, 2 big questions now hang over everything. Can he stay healthy? And maybe more important, can he stay focused? Because Lamine Yamal might play like a veteran, but he's still a kid. Things like dancing, dyeing his hair, pulling his pants down, that's just being young. No one should really care too much about that. But when reports about parties and women who are way older than him, by the way, start surfacing, it stops being funny and it becomes really concerning. This isn't teenage distractions. It's a test, mentally, emotionally, and socially. And learning to deal with it is just as important as what you do inside of the field. Because once you reach a certain level of success, staying logged into football becomes harder, especially when you're this young. But this isn't just a young player problem. Multiple players, some of them legends in the making, saw their careers, or at least their legacies, damaged by things that had nothing to do with football. Not a lack of talent, not a lack of potential, but a loss of focus, bad habits, wrong choices, or maybe just not being built for the spotlight. That's the thing about talent. It opens the door, but it doesn't guarantee you walk through it. Because in football, greatness isn't just about what you do with the ball. It's about how far you're willing to go to evolve, to adapt, to outwork the hype. And Lamine has already started doing that. Just look at him 2 years ago. Skinny frame, electric on the ball, but sometimes overpowered by elite defenders. But now, he's come back stronger, more balanced, harder to knock off the ball, and way more effective in 1v1s. The result? He's not just flashy, he's consistently dangerous, and the impact he's had is clear, becoming more consistent than some of the best players in the world. So what happens when the experience catches up to the talent? When the body fully grows into the game? When he starts turning these flashes of brilliance into full seasons of domination? Well, history has showed us that great things happen when that is the case. We don't really know how far he'll go. We never do with players this young. But what we do know is that he's already rewriting expectations for what a wonder kid is supposed to be. And if this is just the beginning, we might not just be watching the future of football, but the one who defines it. He talks like Ronaldo, plays like Messi, and his idol is Neymar. But he is the first Lamine Yamal. And his time is now, because greatness doesn't wait.